Hi everyone, today we will look at another LeetCode problem. This one is called problem 206. Just reverse linked list. Given the head of a singly linked list, reverse the list and return the reverse list. Okay, so we are given a list and the head of a singly linked list. We have a head of singly. Okay, let me see if I understand the problem. Have a head of singly linked list, and then we need to return the reverse list. Let's look at example. Have you understand the problem? It's quite simple. Let's look at some of the example here. Example 1, we have head of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the output is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so just reverse it. Example 2, have head of 1, 2. So we need to return 2, 1. Example 3, that is empty. Okay, so there is possibility that it is an empty list. So we just return empty. Okay, this is quite straightforward. There is a follow-up question. A linked list can be reversed either iteratively or recursively. Can it implement both? Let's see. Okay, I think I got some idea. So to reverse a linked list, we need to so for the head, it will become the last element, and then the last element will become the first element. So what we need to do here is we could take the head, and then as we move forward, we need to store the previous node, and then as we move along, we will take the current one and then point the next pointer to the previous. In that way, we will reverse the pointer. So the second element in the list will point to the first element, which is the head of the original list. And then the third element will point to the second one. So let me just draw it here real quick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So step 1, we create the node there, and then as we move along, we make it point there, and so on and so forth. So as we move on, we also store the previous node that we have encountered. Okay, so iteratively, I think it is quite doable. It's quite simple, straightforward. How about the recursive? Actually, let me just try it out with the iterative solutions. So what we can do is we look through all of the elements. Let's see. Okay, so I need to use a previous. Initially, this would be none. Okay. So we use the previous node to store the previous node, and then we look through all the node now. So for curl in head, actually we cannot use a for. What we need is while head. Is it? Yep. See while head. I'm assuming that I can change the head variable here. So let me just write it here real quick. Clarify one. Can I modify the head variable? I'm going to assume it's yes. So while head, I'll do let's see, head dot next equals prep. Then I'm gonna store the previous one into the current head. I store the head into the previous variable, and then I move the head forward. Okay. At the end, we return the previous. Okay. And this what? Let me quickly walk through the code again to make sure I haven't missed anything. First of all, I create a previous variable, and then I will look through the linked list using the head. As I move along, I set the head dot next. I set the head to point to the previous one. And then I'm gonna reset the head to the current node and move on the head variable. So on and so forth. At the end, I'm gonna return the previous variable. Let me test this code with the examples that we have. So previous equals to none, while head will point to the first, to the number 1 as element. If you look at the example 1 there, and then the head.next is gonna point to the previous one, which is none, and then pref equals to head. So now pref is pointing to 1. Then we move on the head, which is now pointing to 2. And then 2 will point to 1. 2 becomes the pref. Then the head will point to 3. So on and so forth until the head becomes none. The pref will point to 5. So at this point, it satisfies the condition where the head is now none, meaning that we have reached the end of the linked list. So at that point, we just return the previous. So let me put the solution into LeetCode to see if I got it correct. So while head the next equals left and head equals, this would be head. We'll move on to the next. Then return pref. Let's see if I got this right. Oh, return error. Okay. Wrong answer. So what do we miss here? Let me try to clean up the value. I'm not sure if I'm using the data structure correct here. Interesting. Okay. So at the end, we print up the head. Oh, I see. Because I've overwritten the next here. So what can we do? We start the next one. Let's call it next. Next. Yeah. Okay. I think this should be correct. Why is it yellow? Let me check if next is um it's a reserved word. Oh yeah, I think next is I don't think so. Okay, I think this should be correct. Let me try to submit it. Yeah. So how about the recursive solution? So if you want to use recursion, could do the same. I think it's more or less the same thing because you just need to handle the edge case and then we keep on moving forward, and then as we move forward, so the logic is basically the same. Like instead of using iterative, we just do it recursively. So I think I'm gonna leave that because it's more or less the same thing. Okay, then let me think for a second here. We see. Okay. Okay, I will stop here. Thank you everyone.